Hello and welcome to my crazy electronics project, the MegaWang 2000 Turbo Edition hardware. I'm just looking at my Mode7 board that's come back from PCBWay. As you can see, the soldering work is really nice and neat, and most of the design now is using SMT chips. There's only 3 through-hole RAM chips with their associated capacitors. All of the rest of the SMT chips have very small little decoupling capacitors. So what we should see, and this is the hardware that's just been turned on that you saw, and that's in its default semi-random or pseudo-random power on state. I'm just going to check the wattage usage, and that's 60 watts. So this is the full board stack, and there's the Mode7 board plugged in there. So what we should see is that this Mode7 board gives me the ability to have a layer which has scaling and rotating and also shearing of a tile map screen. So what we should see is that we should see these clouds in front of the main game screen. Now this Mode7 layer is the last layer from the hardware, so I'm just resetting it now, and bing, straight away, fantastic. Look, there it is, it's working. You can see the cloud disappearing off into the top left. I'm just going to move around so we can see a bit better with the joysticks. So the joystick's plugged into the Commodore 64. Commodore 64 drives all of the graphics and everything going into that board stack. And we can see here that there's some scaling down and some small amounts of rotation and some small shearing effects on these clouds. I didn't want to go overboard with the effects, but basically the clouds kind of like pulsate a little bit to make it look like they're bouncing and floating along, and there's a little bit of shearing and rotation in there too. The Mode7 hardware internally has lots of different 24-bit registers. There's registers for the X and Y positions, but then there's also X and Y gradient and also Y and X gradient registers, which in combination can be used to produce scaling and rotation effects. Basically, it's the same kind of algorithm that is used in the Super Nintendo console. I'm just going to add in some extra scaling factor now to the scaled table which is being read in. So what we should see when I run the code now is that we should see a very large, this is in the emulation, and if I run it in the actual real hardware, we should see the same kind of thing. Just let me readjust the windows a little bit. Doing this one-handed is a bit tough. So the screen will go black as the C64 sends over the new data, and if I wait here, we should see, and there we go. There's a very large cloud floating in front of the display now, and if I move it around a little bit, then we can see that it's actually got some rotation and some shearing going on as well. So those pixels, they're not square with the screen anymore, they're kind of like sheared and rotated around. So this is fantastic. PCBWay have delivered yet another working board, first time with no problems whatsoever. I mean, the board looks like it's precisely matching what I'm seeing in the emulation and also in the simulation. So thank you very much for watching these crazy electronics videos. If you like this kind of thing, then please do consider liking or subscribing to this channel, and I hope to see you again soon. Take care and have a great day wherever you are.